All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle a huge paradox today, one that probably keeps you up at night sometimes. We're going to dive deep, and I mean really deep, into the neuroscience of your money. Why? To figure out why financial success can feel so completely out of reach, and more importantly, how you can start rewiring your actual brain to finally change your financial life. So here's the big question that kicks this all off. If you look at the data, real incomes have actually gone up over the last few decades. So why doesn't it feel that way? Why do most of us still feel like we're just struggling to get by? Is the answer just to, budget harder? Or is there something much, much deeper going on inside our own heads? And I mean, just look at this number. It's absolutely staggering. A massive 78% of people with full-time jobs are living paycheck to paycheck. And get this isn't just a low-income problem. Over a third of people who make six-figure salaries say the exact same thing. That right there tells you this isn't just about how much money you make. And that leads us to the fundamental idea we're exploring today. We've all been looking for the solution in the wrong place. The real problem isn't economic, it's neurologic. That constant nagging financial stress so many of us feel, it's literally a product of how our brains are wired to think about and react to money. I want you to think about your money mindset like it's a computer's operating system, It's just humming along in the background 24/7, dictating every single financial choice you make, most of the time without you even realizing it's happening. So let's pop the hood and see what's really running the show. So inside your head, you've got two key players in this financial game. There's your rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is fantastic at long-term planning and logical choices. But the moment financial stress kicks in, your ancient, primitive survival brain, your amygdala, completely hijacks the system. It sees a bill you can't pay as the same level of threat as a saber-toothed tiger, and it slams the brakes on logical thought in favor of pure fight or flight panic. And this hijack has a very real, measurable cost. Scientists have a name for it: bandwidth tax. That constant worry about money literally eats up so much of your mental energy that it can temporarily lower your functional IQ by as much as 13 points. To put that in perspective, that's like pulling an all-nighter. You are just not at your best, not even close, when you're stressed about money. Okay, so where in the world did this faulty operating system even come from? Well, this code, this stressful wiring, it was written a long, long time ago. Long before you even knew what a bank account was. It was all installed when you were just a kid. You see, between the ages of about 3 and 7, our brains are in this super suggestible state. It's a lot like being in a state of hypnosis, and this is when that core programming gets locked in. First, we absorb what our parents tell us, things like money is the root of all evil or money doesn't grow on trees. Second, we watch them, and if they're stressed about money, our little brains mirror that exact same anxiety. And third, we connect these really powerful emotions like shame or anger or fear directly to the whole concept of money itself. So this childhood programming ends up creating what researchers call money scripts, and they found there are 4 main types. There's money vigilance, that's the constant worry and saving. Then there's money avoidance, the idea that money is somehow bad or you don't deserve it. You've got money worship, which is the belief that more money will fix everything. And finally, money status, which is all about using money to look successful. And the script you picked up as a kid dramatically predicts how you handle your finances as an adult. Now, the biggest consequence of all this faulty programming is something called the scarcity trap. And here's the crazy part. It's a neurological state that doesn't just happen because you lack money. It actually creates the very conditions that keep you from getting it. It's a vicious cycle. So what does this trap look like? Well, the first symptom is something called temporal myopia. When your brain is stuck in scarcity mode, it literally, neurologically, cannot properly see or value the future. $1 a year from now feels almost worthless compared to $1 right now. This isn't you being bad with money, it's a neurological glitch that makes saving for retirement feel almost physically impossible. Next up, opportunity blindness. All that mental energy you spend worrying about bills, it's like it uses up all your brain's available RAM. There was this incredible study of sugarcane farmers that found they scored way higher on IQ tests and spotted way more business opportunities right after they got paid when their money stress was at its lowest. The opportunities were there the whole time. Their brains just didn't have the bandwidth to see them. And finally, scarcity causes something called risk amplification. Look, we are all naturally wired to hate losing more than we love winning. But when you're under financial stress, that fear gets cranked up to 11. The smart, calculated risks you need to take to build wealth, like investing, start to feel absolutely terrifying. Your survival brain just screams no and keeps you safe, but it also keeps you completely stuck. Okay, so that's the bad news, right? Our brains are running on some seriously buggy, outdated code that keeps us trapped. But here is the amazing, revolutionary, fantastic good news. We can run a software update. Thanks to the science of neuroplasticity, we have the power to install a brand new financial operating system. If you only take one thing away from this, let it be this: neuroplasticity. It means your brain is not fixed, it is not hardwired, it is constantly changing, building new connections, and reorganizing itself based on your thoughts and your actions. You are not stuck with the wiring you have right now. You absolutely have the power to change it, starting today. And look, this isn't just some wishful thinking. It's a proven process, a system update, if you will. First, you have to map your code. Figure out which of those money scripts you're running on autopilot. Step 2, you learn to interrupt those old automatic patterns the second they pop up. Step 3 is the fun part. You consciously install new pathways and beliefs. And finally, step 4, you consolidate those new pathways through new actions, over and over, until they become your new normal. So let's bring this all home. Why should you bother with all this inner work? I'll tell you why. Because focusing on and transforming your mindset is, without a doubt, the single highest return investment you will ever make. Now, it's so important to understand how this all fits together. Mindset doesn't replace financial strategy. It's the foundation that the strategy is built on. I mean, you can have the best budget or investment plan in the world, but your mindset is what determines if you'll actually do it. Without that solid foundation, the best strategies on earth will just crumble. In the end, it really just boils down to this one powerful idea. Right now, as you're listening to this, the programming running in your brain is either your number one financial asset pushing you forward, or it's your biggest liability holding you back. There really is no middle ground. So just remember, your entire financial reality is being built moment by moment by the code that's currently installed in your brain. The science is crystal clear. That code can be rewritten. That software can be updated. So the only real question left is, are you ready to run the update?